Ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's son and senior Awami League leader has warned that Bangladesh is becoming another Pakistan. He has raised concerns over the increasing role of foreign intel agencies in Bangladesh. This is while he was speaking virtually from United States ahead of Sheikh Hasina's address at the Foreign Correspondents Club in New Delhi. Sajid Joy claimed that Pakistan's Inter-Services Intelligences, ISI, now operates with what he called an open hand in the country. He alleged that hundreds of convicted terrorists, those previously arrested and jailed under the Awami League, have since been released from prison. Listen in to what he had to say.
What should concern India most is Bangladesh has become another Pakistan on India's eastern side. You have another Pakistan today on your eastern front. Foreign intelligence services, especially ISI, has an open hand. Militants, hundreds of convicted terrorists that our Awami League government arrested and convicted and put behind bars, have been released from prison. Hizb ut-Tahrir marches openly. Al-Qaeda operatives speak at public rallies. This is what is happening in Bangladesh. And this does not portend well for India and the world at large. In the future, the next set of terrorists globally are going to be coming from Bangladesh.
Bangladesh has witnessed the rise of several terror groups since the late 1990s, which includes Jamaat-e-Atul Mujahideen Bangladesh, the JMB, Harkat-ul-Jihad al-Islami Bangladesh, Jagrata Muslim Janata Bangladesh, which is the JMJB, and later Ansarullah Bangla Team, which is the ABT. It was on Wednesday that Sheikh Hasina announced her decision to return to her homeland in December, while asserting that she is even prepared to face any consequences. It was also her first public address since being ousted from power in 2024. While many were expecting a virtual appearance, she delivered only an audio message.
I may be detained, I may be sent to prison. They may try to enforce verdicts issued in fabricated cases, but fear cannot decide my duty to the people. I want to return because the people deserve security, development, prosperity, and peace. They deserve a state that protects them, an economy that gives them opportunity, and a democracy that gives them rights.
All right, so those were the words of the ousted ex-Prime Minister of Bangladesh while she delivered that virtual address at a New Delhi event. In fact, sensational claims as we speak that have been made by Sajid Joy, who's claimed that Pakistan's Inter-Services Intelligence, which is the ISI, now operates with what he called an open hand in the country. All right, to take this forward, we are being joined on the broadcast by Captain Alok Bansal. He's joining us live from New Delhi. He is the Director of India Foundation, Executive Director of South Asian Institute for Strategic Affairs. Sensational claims, Mr. that we just heard. These are the comments that have been made, as you heard, by him. Talk to us, Mr. Bansal, about what do you make, because we have obviously heard a lot about Bangladesh in cahoots with Pakistan. This is an open statement coming from him that the ISI has been working openly with the Bangladesh regime.
See, this is a fact that ever since Yunus government had come, they had actually lifted all the restrictions that were there on Pakistan as far as Bangladesh was concerned. So much so that goods coming from Pakistan also did not have to go through customs. So that was an issue. And in fact, it's a fact that most radical outfits are now moving around freely in Bangladesh. And many of them are being propped up by ISI because many of them in fact, opposed the liberation of Bangladesh in 1971. So these are the forces which did not want Bangladesh. They have always been anti-liberation, and now they have got a free hand. And this whole toppling of the government of Sheikh Hasina, which was a duly elected government, was instigated to a very great extent by Pakistan with active connivance of the United States.
Yes. Captain Bansal, talking about the statements that came in from Sheikh Hasina, who says that she is going to be returning to her homeland in the month of December. Do you think Tariq Rahman regime is well prepared to handle the security, the law and order situation? And how do you think the scenario is going to pan out to be when she returns to Bangladesh?
See, her return is essential because what has happened is that the Awami League still has substantive support, but no leadership. And as a result, the cadres are being harassed and there is nobody to galvanize them. So I think her return is essential. Now, I don't think so the present government is going to let her move freely. They are going to arrest her. But the sheer presence of hers on Bangladeshi soil will galvanize her supporters, and I think to some extent also provide some spine to the Bangladeshi judiciary, which has been lacking for some time.
Yes, and also as part of South Asia, how does South Asia as a whole should be viewing the situation, the coming together of Bangladesh and Pakistan, specifically the ISI of Pakistan?
See, as far as South Asia is concerned, this is something dangerous because that supports and activates radical forces which are against the modern concept of nation state. And consequently, not only for South Asia, but for the globe as a whole, I think Bangladesh becoming another Afghanistan is not something which is desirable. And to that extent, I think ISI's active connivance in propping up radical outfits should be opposed. From India's point of view, what we actually need is actually a democratic elected government. We are happy to work with Tariq Zia as long as you allow Awami League to function as a political party and don't start witch hunting, actually, which is going on right now. I think ideally the previous election, Awami League should have been allowed to contest. Since they have not been allowed to contest, his mandate is always under question mark. And that will always remain so. So that's what is the question is that in last elections, if they felt they had so much of clear majority, they should have actually allowed Awami League and Hasina to contest, which they did not. And that very clearly shows that they are on a weak wicket, which I think is a problem and they'll have to deal with it.
So, Captain Bansal, we'll have to leave it at that, but important to also mention here that the statements that came in from Sheikh Hasina yesterday have already sent ripples across Bangladesh. In fact, they've also written to India with respect to the statement that came in. For now, we leave it at that and shift our focus.
Thank you.